Saturday night's main event was an absolute failure. We saw that with Jalen Brunson and Roman Reigns in the ring together as basically a promotional advert with Tyrese Halliburton, I think you say it, and Seth freaking Rollins coming out to confront the two men. This was an absolute disaster, but that's not our point in the video. The title, as you can see, why is WWE just not about wrestling anymore? Why are we so focused on advertising, money? And there's many reasons for that. And if you don't know already, I think you should listen to this video and watch because it's time to break it down. So if you're going to enjoy this video, it's going to be nice to record. Always remember to smash that subscribe button, to live my channel, and let's get into this one. We've also just had confirmed that Gunter, the two-time world heavyweight champion, the longest reigning intercontinental champion, will face, Cody Rhodes, maybe CM Punk again, Sami Zayn to run it back maybe. No, Nick Aldis. It's gone, ain't it? Let's be honest, the company's so far gone. How are we having Gunter, one of the greatest professional wrestlers on the roster right now? One of the greatest professional wrestlers in the last 10 years. So good. Had bangers and matches. Dragunov, Zayn. Had, of course, the rivalry of Rhodes. And his next rivalry is Nick Aldis. Are we genuinely serious? Are we genuinely serious? I mean, come on. I'm not Gunter's biggest fan, I'll be honest. But don't do the boy dirty like that. But this is WWE. Because they have to get him on the card. I would rather just not have him on the card. Just not have him on the card. Have him or even let him face Sami Zayn as a filler match. Just why? Why? But again, yeah, just the card's gone. Wrestling, WWE really, they don't know what they're doing. They really don't know what they're doing. All the advertisements, like we saw at WrestleMania, most matches were like 5 minutes long because they had to fit in the next advertisement for another 10 minutes. Netflix advertisements, sponsorships, all different types of stuff. And that will be the same cause at SummerSlam. And that is why these big events, like SummerSlam's been moved to 2 nights for more money, for more tickets. And people weren't buying tickets. So tickets have now been reduced to $25. $25. Yep. That's how, how far it's gone. That's what it should be. Really, that's what it should be to sell out. They've only distributed 25,000 tickets for SummerSlam. Last year, they'd done 52,000. Double of what it is at right now. It might even be under 25,000, but I think that's what the estimated amount is. Because there's nothing. Sponsorships, money, that's all they rely on now. Just bring in the money. And yes, WWE is at its most profitable cause. They are at their richest point. They've never been this most, valuable before. The Fanatics Fest, all the events they do, everything. It all adds up. And in this economy, and you look at TKO, that is what they want. Like, they could put on a terrible show and they could walk away with a lot of money and be like, yeah, we'll take it. We'll take that. We'll take that, I know, good show. But I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It's just, what is wrestling these days? Like, explain to me. Last year is where it all went downhill. We started 2025 with Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. WrestleMania 41 was straight ass, straight awful, just terrible. And then, all the shows after that. SummerSlam was really good last year, but every other show was just mid. Nothing really good, if we're being really honest. And 2026 has proved not much better. The Royal Rumble was okay, not anything amazing. Chamber, terrible. WrestleMania, mid. Backlash, mid. Clash in Italy, decent. That was all right. Not a Champions, decent. SummerSlam's got to live up. And it should do, because if you look at the match we've got on the card, Punk versus Rhodes, Rollins versus Reigns, Oba versus Brock. Oh, yeah, Nick Aldis versus Gunter, don't care. Shut up. But, yeah, just, what is wrestling? I want you lot to comment, because this is not really about a video. This is about a conversation. And I want to hear, because I'm genuinely confused, and I'm struggling to find words in this video about what to talk about for wrestling, and the state it's in. Like, if we actually look, they can't sell tickets. The biggest shows, WrestleMania only pulled in just over 40,000 seats. And when, WrestleMania in Hollywood at WrestleMania 39 pulled nearly 90,000 people for 2 nights, done like nearly 170,000. And this year done about 90,000 over 2 nights. So it shows you how dead it is. Like, I've lost love for wrestling. Why the content has slowed down on this channel. If you want to go look at my community post about the channel state and everything, go and look at it now. But you lot, what do you think? Thank you very much for watching. It has been lasting to core. Sorry, don't know why I stop there. Smash the like, subscribe button to the Pippin channel. Oh my god, what's going on with wrestling at the moment? We don't know. Why is wrestling such a money grab? It's another question for you lot to answer. And I'll see you soon. Goodbye, guys. So like I just said, what we saw at Saturn's main event was a complete disaster. Fans hated it. And having Roman Reigns at Saturn's main event for the first time since its introduction back in December of 2024 is something amazing. But the fans didn't care. I think there's a lot of reason for this, because we saw the main event, of course, Punk Rhodes versus Gunther and Zayn, which was okay, but didn't make a lot of sense. You had two men that have faced each other at SummerSlam just to try and build some tension that will save the build for the next 2 weeks before SummerSlam on August 1st and 2nd. Same goes for Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. This is a filler for the show. Just a little, give it a little bit of attraction, because Roman Reigns is there to get more money. These superstars these days are not used for wrestling. They're not used for 5-star classic matches to put on a performance. They're put on to make money, to make TKO rich, to make WWE rich. And it's just sad. I'll be honest, it is sad. When you look at it from this point of view and you see, like, these superstars are so many millions a year, but the quality of the card's not great. They'll just have John Cena turn up once in a blue moon, just to try and build some money for this one certain PLE, or you got what I mean, just to try and sell some more tickets. So they're using superstars to make money off them, which, of course, there is going to be part of that business, because it is a possibly billionaire business, It's so rich, but not like the way they do it. Back in the day, superstars used to be wrestling. I understand. Let's take Roman Reigns, for example. He's not going to be wrestling every week. So he's signed to a part-time contract, which, fair enough. You have to agree with that. But you look at the likes of Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, all three men that used to be wrestling every week on Raw now are protected all the time, who don't wrestle on the weekly shows really anymore. Cody Rhodes' match normally always ends in disqualification when he fights on SmackDown now. Rollins is either just facing another, someone who's involved with a feud, or it's for, a tournament or qualification match. Drew McIntyre doesn't wrestle, always a build to a PLE now. You don't really see any top class, top money players be wrestling on the show. It's always the lower mid card that will be near main event in the show, or we have promos that main event the show. And if you told someone back in 1999, 2000 with Stone Cold, Rock, Undertaker, Kane, Kurt Angle, many more, that promos would be main event in the show when none of the big stars would be wrestling on Raw, they'd look at you and laugh. But that's reality. That is reality these days. We do not ever see any of the top guys be wrestling on weekly shows. But then you're probably asking, Jake, what's the point of making this video? What are you on about to try and convince us? Okay, let's go back to February 2024 when TKO acquired WWE, of course. I think that was February 2024 or something along them lines. They acquired WWE, and back then, we had Rollins every week defending the World Heavyweight Championship. They were still new, of course. Only was won back in May 2023 when it first got introduced. We had Reigns turning up more than often, We had The Rock get involved. Cody Rhodes was wrestling every week, fighting like Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, Bloodline members, really. I understand you can't carry on a feud for multiple years to just try and create the same attraction, because you can't do that. It is impossible. People will get bored, which I 100% agree with, that is true. But let's fast forward to July 2026. We've not really seen any big money players be wrestling recently. Roman Reigns, not wrestled since the end of May. Rollins, not wrestled since June, I know you're thinking, that's not long ago. About a month ago now, There's 4 shows where he's not had a match. Cody Rhodes, if we take away the disqualification match, he's not wrestled since Night of Champions. And before that, it was end of May. So once every month these superstars be wrestling, and when you're charging thousands of dollars for tickets just for a B tier show, it's a joke. It's a joke how WWE treat the fans these days. They used to respect the fans. They lived off the fans, their energy, the build, the hype they used to create. They used to make it feel so real, and they were the reason why WWE became what it was. But these days, WWE just use the fans for their money, because all WWE wants, and TKO really, is money.